A group of Buddhist monks began a long journey they called the Walk for Peace. Starting in Texas, they planned to walk all the way to Washington, D.C. From a Vietnamese Buddhist tradition, they walked in silence for miles each day. Their purpose was to inspire peace, compassion, and non-violence across America. Their quiet presence was an invitation to think about gentleness in a world loud with conflict. As they crossed the country, their journey touched many hearts. Their walk reminded many of the long marches for civil rights, a physical act of commitment to a moral cause. The monks' message was not in words, but in their actions. I guess they just want to do some good in the world. Each step was a prayer for peace, a testament to inner calm. By walking with compassion, they planted seeds of peace in the communities they passed through. Their journey was a sacred act, a living example that peace in the world begins with peace in the heart. The clash of worlds in Georgia. The monks' peaceful journey was disrupted in Georgia when a small group of Christian protesters appeared. They came with loud voices and harsh messages, shouting at the silent walkers, holding signs that read, "Hell awaits you." The protesters created a stark contrast to the monks' quiet dignity. One protester singled out a monk, declaring their quest for peace was false. "If your peace is not rooted in Christ, then it's false peace," he shouted, telling them they were walking their way to hell. This is one of many reasons a lot of people are leaving the church and why churches are struggling because of so-called Christians like these individuals. The monks tried to explain their position with calm, simple words, responding that they were not there to promote any religion. They were simply walking, not to convert or argue, but to inspire a feeling of peace that all people could share, regardless of their faith. However, this gentle mission was met with hostility. Protesters, believing they were defending their faith, chose judgment and intimidation, trying to impose their beliefs on others through fear. This behavior stands in stark opposition to the teachings of love and humility at the core of the faith they claim to represent. In the face of this hostility, the monks' response was the most powerful statement of all. They did not raise their voices or argue back. Instead of anger, the monks met aggressive shouts with calm silence, responding with peaceful perseverance. Their serene reaction had a profound effect. When videos appeared online, the community reaction was overwhelmingly supportive, condemning the protesters' behavior as disrespectful. In Georgia, one of the largest crowds of the pilgrimage gathered to greet them, offering flowers and food. Supporters created a wall of love, showing the protesters were a small, fringe viewpoint.
Everything about them is what I think Christ would be like if he were here today. He'd be walking for peace.
The monks showed that peace is not weakness but a form of deep strength, being centered and compassionate even when faced with aggression. The community showed that love is stronger than hate. Section 4. A painful reminder on the road. Earlier in their journey through Texas, a terrible traffic crash occurred. A distracted driver struck an escort vehicle, pushing it into two of the walkers. One monk, Bante, was critically injured, and his leg had to be amputated. The crash was a painful reminder of their vulnerability on public roads. When a monk was injured, the news sent a wave of sorrow, bringing the physical dangers into sharp focus. The response was an outpouring of compassion, with funds raised to cover medical expenses. The injured monk showed incredible resilience, focusing on recovery with a peaceful mindset. After healing, he rejoined the group. His return, now with a prosthetic leg, testified to his personal strength and the pilgrimage's unwavering spirit. Became a powerful symbol of perseverance. The accident was a tragedy, but it did not end the walk. It became a painful chapter that highlighted the deep well of compassion the monks were trying to inspire. The monks embodied a simple truth, that a commitment to peace requires patience, perseverance, and a heart open to all. They kept going. The events in Georgia ask us to look deeper into our own hearts and communities. When a group calls themselves Christian and then harasses people walking for peace, it creates confusion and pain. It damages the reputation of the faith they claim to represent. This kind of behavior pushes people away, especially those who are searching for spiritual truth. It is important to ask simple moral questions. Is it compassionate to shout at strangers? Is it loving to tell someone their soul is lost because they believe differently? There is a long and painful history of religious groups using their power to harm others, and especially Christians. I have to call it out. We have seen it in the forced conversions abuses carried out by some missionaries in the past. This history teaches us to be very careful. Faith should be a source of healing and comfort, not a weapon for control or a justification for cruelty. The actions of the protesters in Georgia, though on a small scale, echo this darker pattern of religious intolerance. And is a lot more people like that walking around in the world pretending to speak for God. It is a pattern that any person of genuine faith should actively work to dismantle, and the people are actually in religious groups that use that to better themselves or preach positivity. My views are not towards you. It's towards the false charlatans, starting with their own attitudes and actions toward others. The quiet, steady walk of the monks offers a different way. It is a path of humility, respect, and non-violence. They show us that one does not need to be loud to be strong. Their calm response to verbal attacks was a powerful lesson in grace. It invites self-examination within all religious communities. Are we living up to our highest ideals? Are we known for our love and service, or for our judgment and exclusion? The monks hold up a mirror, and it is vital that we have the courage to look at our own reflection honestly. Let us hope for a future where respect and compassion guide our interactions. This begins with simple steps. We can choose to listen instead of shouting. We can choose to learn about others instead of fearing them. We can teach our children that diversity of belief is not a threat but a reality of our shared world. The walk for peace is not just the monk's journey, it is an invitation for all of us to join in. Let us protect those who walk for peace and learn from their example. In doing so, we can help build a world with more kindness and understanding, one slow, compassionate step at a time. Like, comment, and subscribe.